Hello and welcome to the Footy Times Premier League Review Show, where we review all the action from the latest round of Premier League games. So we had a very interesting weekend this time around with none of the traditional Big Six teams posting wins. So before we start talking about that, as always, I know you must be tired of hearing us say this, but please do like, share, and subscribe. It only takes a second for you to hit that like button, but it gives us a lot of engagement and motivates us and helps us bring more content in the future. And just helps us to keep working hard.
Yep.
Uh, so I think without further ado, let's go straight into it. The game of the weekend was obviously the Manchester Derby. So I'll hand it over to two Manchester United fans. I think Sheldon, you're going to start with this one. So take it away.
Sure, Avinash. You know what? You kind of you came into this whole conversation about how exciting this is going to be. But Manchester United versus Man City, I don't think there's been the last time we actually scored a nil-nil. We had a nil-nil scoreline. This was a pretty boring draw. Both teams came into this game not wanting to lose and drop any more points because, as you can tell, Man City and Man United are currently, I think they're separated by a point
Yeah.
apiece, and it was very weird looking at thinking you know of Guardiola in that sense, because usually whenever he goes into a game he goes to win it, and just judging by
Not recently.
yeah,
Sorry.
well, yeah.
Not so much recently, I think. Or yeah, especially against Liverpool, he doesn't seem to, but
Yeah. But I think the fact that his defense has been pretty shaky. Earlier in the earlier games, he thought that he needs to get that foundation going on. You see a lot of the defenders being chopped and changed. You currently, Stones is the flavor of the month. You can think, like, who knew that's going to happen. But currently, that's they've apparently kept 6 clean sheets in 11 games. Who knew? Man City's defense was going to be that. They've always known for their attacking prowess. So the fact that they've been keeping clean sheets is definitely something to take notice of. And the major takeaways from this game were, the fact that Man City were pretty lukewarm in the first half. They came alive in the second half when they had Ferran Torres being brought on, and then the for me the standout players of this game were mainly midfielders from United and the United defense in a way. I would like to give a shout out to Fred. You know what? The more I see him, the better. I feel like I can do away with Pogba in midfield, and we could bring in someone else, because the kind of intensity he brings to the team is very, very, and not only that, he brings a lot of flair as well. He was able to kind of nutmeg De Bruyne and a couple other Man City players as well. So just to call out more of his stats, he had 64 touches, 51 out of 54 passes were completed, and he had 3 out of 4 long passes completed, and he had one clearance and 3 tackles won. So phenomenal stats for a I wouldn't call him a complete defensive midfielder. He's more in the box to box range. So he's been doing fairly well
he's
in that
tenacious, isn't he?
sense. Yeah,
He's
is
quite tenacious. I think
definitely.
that's why stands
One
out.
thing that Fred provides is that he makes McTominay look like a world class player, which I don't think he is. So that's one thing I noticed, and I feel like
McFred.
if yeah, McFred or Pastor Fred is what he's called. But yeah, if you have any a better player next to him, I think he would the midfield would be elevated a little bit more. The we in this game we actually went with the diamond. We Ollie keeps chopping and changing. We haven't decided on our the formation we want to go with. It seems yet another formation and very next day, so or next game. So I'm a little uneasy as a Man United fan. I would expect us to actually have a settled formation at this point in time if we want to compete for the title. We seem to be in that space where we can actually compete for the title. And but the you know what, another man who I wasn't going to talk about was Maguire. I mean, the guy has apparently resurrected. He's probably a lot. He's been called as what, Frank Beckenbauer reincarnate or something like that, which is an obviously
Overstatement.
a huge insult to
He was the
him.
worst defender in the world last time around.
Yeah, I
Now
know,
he's
I know,
transferred.
but his what do you call, his performances have been pretty good. 100% of the tackles won and 100% of the aerials won. 5 ball recoveries, 3 ball interceptions, 3 blocks, 2 clearances, and obviously the clean sheet to go with it. So tremendous performance on the defensive side of the from the Man United defenses, because we had like 13 clearances as opposed to 1 clearance from Man City. And if you look at we had a lot of chances to score, clear cut chances. We were winning headers from corners and stuff, which was kind of unheard of for Lindelof. So we did really well in that sense. We should have scored. But at some point, I feel like Ollie decided that, you know what, it's probably better to save face than to and concede, because this was a real pressure game coming in from midweek, where we got out of the Champions League, and yet again we had no Van de Beek in this game as well. So a lot of pressure, and we managed to. You know what? We've managed to not lose in the last 4 games in the league. So I think that is a positive to take away.
Yeah,
But Nisar, do you
yeah,
have anything else to add?
yeah. I just wanted to say a couple of things. Firstly, I don't know whether you guys recall, but I was finding it tough to recall Pep Guardiola team with two DMs in it.
He's been
Uh,
doing that all season actually.
Yeah, he's been
yeah,
doing that.
as in
But
as
yeah,
in
in
basically
general, that's
what I
not
was
his
trying
general.
to is yeah, what I was trying to say is like since like before this season, it pretty much never happened.
Yeah.
Like having uh and and especially he had Fernandinho as a DM, whom I thought that he can trust like by himself, but clearly not. As in going back to the point of not playing not to lose, and essentially both teams had like really like 6 defensive players, four at the back and 2 DMs. And
Yeah,
I think from the setup, you see that it was very crowded in the midfield. A lot of emphasis was on negating Bruno from Manchester City's point of view and
Okay.
negating De Bruyne from United's point of view.
Yeah.
And that is pretty much where the creativity comes from. And as in
Right.
Sterling was in the box sometimes, but that's it. As in there was not a lot of creativity other than that. Uh, as in there were two brilliant saves, like one clearance and one save from United. But I don't think so. From like open play, we created any clear cut chances. Rashford looked out of like he was not on his best, and again, I think it was just the lack of delivery. As in, you can't expect uh, to hit the ground running without any delivery. And yeah, I felt that like starting Martial would have been a better idea. Like so we needed someone to hold the ball along. Like I think we were playing. I think at one point, I think pretty much throughout the game, we were playing a 4-4-2 with Bruno and Rashford up top, and Greenwood and Pogba on the wings, and then 2 DMs. So it was like more of a classical. That is how I saw it.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
oh,
true.
okay.
and
Yeah.
and yeah, as in Pogba at the wings and Greenwood at the wings don't provide a lot, but I have to say that the entire team worked really hard to keep the shape and uh, basically have a good defensive shape against City. And yeah, it just led to a very, very boring game. That's it. So I
When
think that I didn't have
when
anything more
did
to
when
add to the
did
game.
Man City
Have
have
a
such a
have a
less possession, like 54% possession? Manchester City. That seems like an unreal number
Yeah,
for a Guardiola
Yeah.
team. I don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. That
yeah.
is
I think
true.
the
They
two
were
DMs.
playing at Old Trafford. So I mean, it is
Yeah.
the one question I had for all of you all is, have you all, if you look at the
Hmm.
graphic, especially the Man City one, you'll notice that the average position of Gabriel Jesus.
behind
He's like
KDB.
playing behind De Bruyne and Sterling. Like
Hmm.
the guy
I
is
think
either
I think a couple
is
of
falling
times
back way too much to help him.
a couple of times KDB did shout out to him like the anticipated pass where he thought Jesus might be, but he was always behind the ball. Somehow I think I noticed it a couple of times during the game
Mhm.
where he was not where a traditional
Yeah.
striker or like where you hope your striker would be sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think
true.
that was a feature of the game. I mean, I feel like you said, I think there were a lot of similarities between the two teams in that they didn't seem to have a recognized presence to sort of, Man City do like to uh, use the wide areas and play balls in.
Hmm.
So that they're obviously missing Aguero, we know that, and Jesus is back, but somehow he's not. He's never convinced
Yeah.
in that role. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that sort of average position, so there's he's not really getting in the box either. And like you said, Man United system didn't really allow for centre forward either. So it was very noticeable that there was absolutely nobody making runs into the box. And at a higher level, I think this has been Man City's problem. There's something wrong. They just a lot of it seems to be funneled through De Bruyne, a lot of the creativity, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
dependence on him to create. And Pep Guardiola just doesn't seem to trust his defense. He's really struggling to find the balance, which has
Hmm.
never been a problem for Man City in the past. But
Yeah.
it seems like he's really scarred after what happened last season
Yeah.
when it comes to his defense, especially. So he just doesn't trust playing anybody in a holding role. Like I don't think he
Yeah.
trusts Rodri either, so that's not helping. And I don't think
That's true.
Fernandinho is a player that he used to be. He's
Hmm.
getting on now. So, and I don't know what's happening with Laporte. Laporte, in theory, Laporte and Diaz as a combination should allow City to play much higher and potentially,
Hmm.
not protect the back four so much. But
He
I don't
was
know
on the
why he's
bench,
out of
right?
favor. Yeah, he's been out of favor for the last couple of games. Like you said, John Stone seems to be suddenly
Yeah, the flavor
disfavored.
of the month. Yep.
Yeah, so there's a lot of problems at City. You would have thought they had turned a corner after the last couple of games, but it looks like he's
Still
still not
there.
sure of his
Yeah.
team.
Yep.
Um, and for Man
And
United's
yeah,
perspective,
one more thing I quickly wanted to add before I forget was like again there has been a raging debate about whether Pogba should have started or not. Don't want to
Oh
dwell
yeah.
in that topic a lot, but yeah, I just feel like it has become a player's game, at least from the Manchester United side of things. Not a big fan of that decision.
To
When a
slay
player,
Pogba.
yeah, yeah,
I
I
mean,
I would not support of that.
I think his agent has backtracked now, but yeah, I mean, you can't let a resource like that sit on the bench, to be honest. I think if just everybody needs to like man up and be grown ups over this and just see it out until the end of the season. And I think Pogba
Yeah,
has to
I
leave.
guess.
It's
Yeah,
I don't
It's
know.
not been a
As a
happy
United,
marriage at all, as
yeah,
far as
for
I
I
can.
sure.
know, but as I mean, it comes down to we seem to be kind of proving Jose right time and time again now through we he wanted Harry Maguire a season before. We ended up getting him later on for Ollie, and we paid like the premium of 20 million extra. And now we are getting rid of Pogba, which is what he wanted as well. So it seems the United board are kind of wondering whether they made a mistake. So more to see on that front. I guess
Yep,
this season will be filled with a lot of drama.
Yeah, I
yep,
think we should
cool.
move
I
on.
guess we can
Yeah.
move on. Yep.
Let's move on to the Fulham versus Liverpool game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to talk about the game as such, so I'll actually start off by paying tribute and, sort of mentioning an ex-Liverpool manager, Gerard Houllier, who passed away today. It's very sad. So it's this one especially is kind of, he's close to my heart because he was the Liverpool manager when I started supporting them in 2002. Um, so I unfortunately missed out the peak period of his management of Liverpool, which was like between 2000 and 2002, where he put Liverpool back on the map in terms of winning trophies and sort of modernized the entire culture around the team, took them into the new era, one that it's the cup treble in 2001, which was actually the Europa League, the FA Cup, and League Cup, which was mocked by a lot of fans, but actually it was a very big deal for us because it instilled that winners mentality and sort of winning trophies or something Liverpool as a club had forgotten for the previous decade. And then
Hmm.
in 2002, he took us into the Champions League, took us to the quarterfinals. He actually had a major heart attack. He had to be taken to the hospital during a game, and then he nearly died, and he had to be brought back. And he came back for this game against Roma in the second group stage of the Champions League. It was a very emotional night, which Liverpool won 2-0 to go to the quarterfinal. So yeah, unfortunately, by the time I started watching, he was kind of on the wane. I don't think he was ever the same after that heart surgery. But yeah, really, it's really sad, and may his soul rest in peace, really. And as far as the game itself is concerned, as you can see, I don't have a lot of key takeaways necessarily, except that we seem to be shit away from home. It's been 5 games that we haven't won. I don't know what's happening there. But what I do know is, for the first time in a long time, this felt like a proper away game, Maybe the fans coming back had something to do with it. And Fulham in general is quite an atmospheric ground. The fans are tight to the pitch. There's not a lot of distance. They're almost on top of the players. And Fulham, man, they were up for it.
Yeah.
When I say it's a typical away game, it's the kind of game where, there's this cliche that you have to earn the right to play. And that's kind of what Liverpool had to do, because Fulham were organized, they were up for it, they were so sharp, and they really wanted this, you could tell. And Liverpool probably, I don't know, maybe they're, nobody's used to playing this in this kind of a hostile-ish, given what we've seen recently, atmosphere, and just the general sort of tiredness which is set in because of the games. And that's probably one of the reasons why the Big Six have all struggled this weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, Liverpool were kind of slow. They probably thought they'd just, keep it easy, trying to control the game, take the sting out. But Fulham didn't let them do it. They were tight all over the pitch. They won the ball back. They won a lot of duels. And when they won the ball back, they were like really, really, they had a plan. They would either quickly counterattack through Lookman, or they were playing long balls up to Loftus-Cheek. He bullied Fabinho on a couple of occasions. And basically that goal was coming. Alisson had made like 2 or 3 saves before that. And, you could tell Liverpool had to get through that. They had to weather the storm. They couldn't quite do that. So Fulham, they got the goal. And then it was just, backs to the wall as far as they were concerned. Liverpool kind of woke up. The energy increased, the tempo increased, the intensity went up. But they never really created any chances. If you look at the first 30-minute touch map, I think that was where the game was defined for me. If you see, Fulham had quite a few touches in the Liverpool box, but Liverpool had 0 in Fulham's box. And that tells you everything about, how this game started. And that kind of defined it for me. After that, we did get on top of Fulham a little bit. I could see some of the sort of, old Liverpool, if you call it, but not enough really in terms of clear-cut chances. Mane and Salah had a chance each in the first half. Henderson had one in the second. Curtis Jones went on a run. Maybe he could have passed to Mane, but yeah. And that penalty wasn't lucky, but
it was soft. It was a soft penalty. Definitely.
Yeah, but then it was surely a penalty. Like with VAR and with the new rules, it was surely a penalty.
Especially from when you're on the wall for a free kick, when you put your hand out, they
put your hand out.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Quick question for you: do you think that you guys are heavily dependent on Diego Jota?
Oh yeah, that's another thing. So this is the kind of game that Jota has kind of broken open for us recently. But yeah, I mean, I have not seen an injury crisis like this in all my time watching football. This is just, it's gone to the point where, we are desensitized. Any injury news is just like...
But it is so weird. Like, one thing that I did not understand was the starting team in Champions League. As in, why would you start like the whole flurry of players there where you had already qualified and top of the group? I don't know.
Keeps complaining
probably you
about
might have a better answer.
A lot of debate.
Klopp keeps saying about the 72-hour break that we discussed in one of our earlier videos, right? So
yeah, I think that was surprising, especially Salah. I think Jota hadn't played the previous weekend, and probably there is something to be said for game fitness and rhythm and all of that. Jota has been in form, so I can see why he started him. I didn't get why he played Salah for 98 minutes. That for me is just didn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those you can look back on it because
And
you
Matip
have.
was substituted in 45 minutes again.
Oh yeah,
I
he
don't
was
know whether it was an injury or was it strategic, but
said it's a
at
bad.
Liverpool we were playing without any centre backs
Dude,
for the second half.
Henderson was playing centre back, but he was in the
Centre
box.
back,
Yeah.
He got the
yeah,
chance in the second half. He should have scored actually.
yeah,
He was in
yeah.
the box a couple
It
of
was so
times. He
weird.
was
I was
the
like,
edge of the box.
yeah, in the halftime, I was like, oh yeah, there are no recognized centre backs for Liverpool on the field.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
It was all
Two strong
attack though,
midfielders.
so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all attack. Yeah,
yeah. He basically went for broke.
yeah.
Didn't come off. At the end of the day, the XG numbers also say that it was probably a deserved result. You could even say it was a point gain under the circumstances. So again, can't do anything. It's just how it is. It's a difficult time for everyone, clearly. So we just have to take the point. And again, we're still there somehow. We're still joint top. I'm bringing that up again. I know Tottenham fans don't like it, but yeah, listen, if we can just somehow hold on till January, be thereabouts, maybe start getting some players back, and hopefully the schedule eases as well in January. So yeah, that's all we
I
can do at this point in time.
I was going to say that one of the crucial things of this game was the penalty which Fulham didn't win. Now
Yeah.
you probably have a different mindset, but I have this image only. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh
No, we
shit,
can't
you can't see it.
because of the
But
background.
but yeah,
I've seen the image. It doesn't mean anything.
dude, I'll show you the slow mo video. He did not touch the ball at all. He touched the foot, and then the foot touched the ball. But that was a crucial point in the game because that could have been 2-0 up, and you guys would have been scampering to try and get into a game. So I don't know.
I don't
You
think that was
definitely
clear and obvious enough. We saw plenty of angles.
it's
The VAR saw
No,
plenty
so
of angles.
yeah.
On-field
no,
referees saw plenty of angles.
on-field referee can make mistakes by the way because he has a very short period of time to actually make a decision. There's a
Yeah,
lot
but
of pressure.
he went and looked at the monitor.
But yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I understand that. But like I said, that's a very short window. He can't because the rest of the game he's got to make that decision within a very short period of time. Now he doesn't have the luxury that people in the up in the studios have, and a lot of the ex players, including I believe Graham Souness, also agreed that that was a penalty. I don't know if
How
you
many?
guys agree.
If it's that obvious, then why would he need that much time? How much time do you need as an experienced Premier League referee? If you need that many angles
I'm
to
just
ascertain, for me that's the game's gone. If you're saying that is a pen, and this whole if you think that's clear and obvious for him to go and
Yeah,
overturn
as
after
in,
multiple
so
people
for
have seen it.
perfect.
yeah, yeah. For me, I think if it was given on the first place, then there was
Yeah.
nothing saying that this was not a penalty. And if it was not given, then it is nothing clearly saying that it was a penalty. So I think it was all on like the first decision that was made. Like so, I like, and again, like when you start looking at stills and like very specific angles, I think you start losing the point. I think you lose context for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those.
But
Um,
anyways,
yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had. So I think it's just on to midweek now against Tottenham. That's massive. We've somehow not been able to get the top spot. In spite of Tottenham having a couple of draws, we've drawn as well. So it's kind of neck and neck at this point in time. So this is the opportunity to pull away. So let's see.
You're going into this game where Kane and Son have a combined, I think, goal
Yeah, I know
of like
it's the
12.
Kane Son show right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's going to be
And I
interesting.
hope Sadio Mane finds his shooting boots again. Yes, he doesn't. He's going through a very lean spell at this point in time, and with Jota not there, we really need him to start finding a scoring touch. So, yeah, that's the one
Cool.
thing. All right, moving on. I think
Oh,
The roundup, right?
this was a pretty
Roundup,
eventful game.
right? Yeah.
Ranga,
No, Rahul, you
No,
have your part to
Rahul.
play here.
Oh God, do I have to?
Well, yeah, relegation battling
Yeah.
Arsenal
Well, at least it might be
God,
it might be
wait.
interesting, right?
failed to.
Some kind of
Yeah.
something to look forward to, at least. But yeah, it's been such a bad year this year for Arsenal. Like, it, I don't even know where to start. Like you were saying, Avinash, it was not a good week for a lot of teams and all, but it just went to crazy bad for us, I guess, after this. Like this, even I said that in last week's video that this might be the game where we sort of get our mojo back, but it clearly we lost all our mojo.
Well, Oba did score.
Yeah, not at the right end, obviously.
Oh, I think I read somewhere that Aubameyang has become the second highest scorer for Burnley.
Oh
Oh
God.
my God.
Let the memes flow. I guess that's yeah. It's been a like okay. Let's not talk about the game, which we like as the stats or the key takeaway says that it's been our fourth loss consecutive in the Premier League, which has been the first since like 61 years almost now. So yeah,
Wow.
that's just crazy. But yeah, just to go away from the game and just to see what possibly is going wrong and maybe should change going forward is Willian should not be played. Like come what may, I don't know. He should not be played. Definitely. Like there are youngsters that have to be tried on. He's not performing. He just sort of take a bullet. Yeah, Sheldon, what's up?
Oh, I was going to say you need Willian to be there to take the throw-ins because Bellerin can't
No,
take
no,
those
no.
throw-ins.
I guess Bellerin, yeah, actually, Willian was taking a lot of throws. You're right. So, but I
Yeah,
think anyone can do a good job with that on Bellerin, and anyone else apart from Willian can do what Willian is doing better, including throwing. So I think it's about time that Willian should sort of be benched at this point. Like, give some youngsters some chance, man. Reese Nelson is good. He probably is a very like he might. I mean, not the typical position.
but but
Yeah.
Rahul, don't you feel that that would just put like a lot of pressure on these youngsters? As in, it's one thing to come off the bench and to uh, pull off a
No.
performance, but to perform
To be
week in week
honest,
out maybe too
to be
much to
honest,
ask,
how
right?
bad can it go? Like how like
Yeah.
if you can't
Yeah.
hold a player like Lacazette or Aubameyang not account like if they are playing so badly, how can you expect a youngster like whatever he does might be like good no matter what like in retrospect.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
bonus.
might as well just
Mhm.
give them a
Hmm.
free hand, just give a couple of new players some run and see, like you can do the other way
Mhm.
around. Play them for first half, switch them out if you feel that Willian is the player for you. Play him in the second half. Who cares? So yeah, I think that needs to change.
I think it's just who
Yeah.
cares,
Oh
period,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for
Anything
Arsenal
works
fans.
anything goes at this point for sure. But the other thing that I would feel should change, and I think Avinash or someone else was also saying that, is the formation and the type, like there is no sort of strategies, like there is no
Creativity.
creativity, and there is like it's just like people running down both the flanks, putting a ball in. We don't even have a recognized sort of player who can head the ball like a Giroud, probably, who can head the ball in and get you the goals if you just sort of overload on the crosses. So we don't have any of those players. So I don't even know what the strategy is at this point. Like just running down the flank, putting in crosses, insane amount of crosses, and hoping something will stick. So that's not working for us. So that needs to change. There needs to be a proper build-up play. Um, Again, like someone like Ozil coming in and sort of taking that ball from midfield to your strikers to create that
Box.
chance. So that needs to change. So yeah, I mean there are a lot of other things, but these are sort of the two big things I think should change.
But but Rahul, like, as in, I don't know
Hmm.
what you think, but like in the second half, I think before
Yeah.
that
Oh,
idiotic
yeah.
mistake by
Don't even.
Zaka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Arsenal were
Yes.
pretty much on the
Yes.
top, as in they were creating. I think, as you have mentioned, that they had Burnley had like 15 clearances,
Yeah.
4 blocks, and like I think they were
Yes.
all over Burnley,
Yes.
and that just spiraled
Yeah,
out. I
that
think.
red card was definitely one of the game-changing moments. Like I was excited for a very long, like after a long time to see Arsenal play like that in a Premier League. It was not your traditional Arsenal where like 15, 17 passes,
Yeah,
like eye-catching passes and then a goal. It was not that, but at least it
Yeah.
was something. Like there were sustained period of sort of crosses going in, yeah, pressure
Pressure.
pressure. Yeah,
building up on Burnley's defense. So there was definitely that that play going on, and the red card, that was horrendous, man. Why do you do that? Like, you are at a you are at a stage
Yeah.
where your team is playing properly. Like, just write it out. Whatever they say, just overlook it. So that was pretty bad. And to be honest, I don't even know the midfield partnership that Arteta is bringing up, like Zaka and
Yeah.
Elneny and Partey. Maybe Partey is okay, but yeah. So it seems like that's also a miss, like the defensive the partnership. And yeah, and those all things, as you can see from another key stat, like it's been 12 hours and 32 minutes since we have scored from open play. That's just not right. Playing two strikers and like not scoring, it's too bad. Like you were saying something, sir.
How long ago
Yeah, I
was
don't.
it? I mean, probably like
Sheffield. I
September or
think
something.
Sheffield United game was the last open play goal that we had. I think it was Sheffield. I might be wrong, but yeah. So people can comment if they remember, but yeah, I don't even remember. I think what game was that?
But the question I want to
Mm-hmm.
ask you is that, I mean, I know the Arteta has been getting a
Mm-hmm.
lot of backlash because of the how poor the team is right now. They're almost battling relegation, but the fact that he has a what do you call, a win percentage of 41%, and the team isn't inspired by him. What are you? I mean, do you think that he is the right man for this job at this point in time? Because clearly, he doesn't seem to be. He's kind of thrown
Mm-hmm.
Ozil out, and the team is, you know, doesn't know. Doesn't it seems to be wandering
Mm-hmm.
around like headless
So
chickens in a
it's a
way.
two-folded answer, I would say, to that. The one part of it is, yeah, he's not doing good, so that has to change somehow. So an easy answer would be like, yeah, just get him out of the door. But the second part of the answer is that who do you bring in? Like, who will replace him? He at least has the trust of the players. At least I would like to say that he has the trust from. Sorry,
Same
what?
idea. No, I was going to say
Yeah,
it
it
doesn't
doesn't
seem
seem
like
like
it
that,
by
but
the
at least in the
on-field
start of the
performances.
season, well, I felt that he was the person who sort of got Obama Mayang to sort of sign that contract. And so I definitely feel that he had that jam with his players, at least in the start of the season when all things were rosy, the honeymoon period was on, winning two trophies if you count Community Shield, but whatever. But yeah, there is definitely that angle. I don't know if it has gone away totally, but like generally it's so morose, the whole situation, that I don't know if it's just the dynamics between the player and the manager, excuse me, or is it is just like, yeah. So I don't know the answer to that, Sheldon. Like, I don't know who a replacement would be if he even let go of Arteta at this point. So I would say persist with him till
Yeah.
February. See if he can. I think we can make changes to the Premier League squad in the January, right? So possibly bring Ozil in, try to switch out formations. I don't know. So, and see if we can get some good players and see how it goes. Give him a couple of months is what I would say. And if it still doesn't work up until like February, then maybe some hard calls need to be made. So,
I don't know. That seems like a lot of faith given into a manager who's had, like, since his
mhm.
appointment, Arsenal have lost 12 times. And then, for example, United and Spurs have lost
Mhm.
6 times, and Liverpool obviously 4 times. So he's lost a
Yeah,
lot more games. I don't know if you guys are in a period, like what, 15, 16
15.
position right now. I don't know if that's something you want to wait that much. You asked about which manager can come in. I honestly speaking, I think that Pochettino,
He
he
wouldn't
knows the
come.
I don't
Oh,
league.
think.
come on. If you
I don't think
take
he would.
Pochettino at any day, but
Do you
he
think he
wouldn't
would?
come by, man. How? Yeah, I don't.
Pochettino.
Yeah, I
Poch
don't.
won't go to Tottenham.
Arsenal. Yeah,
Oh,
I
sorry,
don't think he'll
Arsenal.
come.
I mean,
No.
Arsenal.
You think so? I mean, I know he had that affinity with Espanyol, and he didn't want to go to Barcelona. But does he have that same
Yeah,
oh yeah,
I don't think so. He'll
mindset
come.
with?
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go. I think Allegri is the other option, but yeah, I
Allegri,
mean, it's
yeah,
slim pickings at the moment.
Allegri might be the same
But
thing
Uh,
as
actually,
Emery.
I think there's
I,
too much. I think there's too much focus on the manager.
The
But yeah,
players are
I think the
also
players also,
responsible. Yup,
Players
as
are,
in,
yup.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Arteta is learning. I'm not sure. It's very hard to say if he's the man for the job. There were some good
Yeah.
signs at the beginning, but like we've discussed in the last show as well, he certainly a lot of things have regressed, but the players are
Yeah.
not helping. And
Yeah,
I don't think
exactly.
these are the types of players you want to rely on when you're going through a tough time. And that's where I think the
Yeah,
crux of the problem is.
Mhm.
They don't have the stomach for it.
yeah.
So,
And
uh,
just
I mean, yeah, I really don't know what has to change or what can change. I think this is going to be a
yeah,
season of struggle.
uh,
I think Arsenal will be lucky to
yeah.
make top half, to be honest,
Yeah.
if things go like this. But yeah, something
So,
has to be
so
done.
like, just I wanted to say
Uh,
one thing. Sorry, Avinash, to cut you off, but just to
mhm.
shout out to Saka. Like such a talented player, man. Like if you watch the game, he was
Yeah.
giving his
Yeah.
hearts out. Like the way he was playing. Like I think Saka would like should. I don't know. Like it's so bad that the way he was
No,
putting in like defensive attacking play, and he for showing so much heart despite all the shitty situation that we were in. It's yeah, you should definitely, your heart should go out for him, like the way he was playing.
Maybe Xhaka can learn
Yeah,
something
Yeah.
from
Xhaka.
that.
Yeah, Xhaka.
Xhaka.
Like just the stupid mistake that he made, and the guy, like a 17, 18-year-old
I
guy.
don't get. I cannot believe he's still
Yeah.
starting for Arsenal, especially after what
Yeah.
happened last season with the way he mocked the fans and all of that. Yeah, I just. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I think
it's a bit
Yeah.
cringeworthy.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't have
So
anything
I
more
don't
to
know.
add about from like for the match itself. It was a bad game overall. 10 minutes before the red card, and I think El Nini was at least lucky to be on the field. Like I think he it would. Yeah, I thought he
Exactly.
would have, it would have
Exactly.
been a red card after going to VAR,
Another red card.
but
Yeah.
he was there. But like it went in. Like after the VAR call, it went in. So I don't know. Burnley might be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They might be happy, not happy. So yeah. Either ways, yeah. I have nothing to add. So if you guys have anything,
Nope,
No.
nothing from my side.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know. We can just round up the weekend's results, I guess. I think the other noteworthy result was Everton beating Chelsea, another
Yep.
Big Six team losing.
Yeah.
This was probably, again, the fans had a big role to play. Goodison can be an intimidating place. I thought Everton played really well. They were organized, they defended well, and they created a lot of chances. Gave Chelsea all kinds of problems. I don't remember Chelsea creating anything from inside the box. They had a couple of shots from outside, I think, the post.
you're giving kudos to Everton.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys meant.
It's
I mean,
Everton.
yeah, credit where it's due, and I think Chelsea are more of a
Then
threat
Everton are.
than
Yeah,
Everton are.
fair,
So
fair.
yeah, so
But
yeah, I think
Chelsea,
most
I was going to say Chelsea have won 6 out of their 12 games. Not doesn't seem like
they
championship
basically
winning
not
form.
beaten anyone who's in the top 10. I think
Top
Beyond
10, yeah.
13.
beyond
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I
There,
think
there was.
for me that's going to be the litmus test for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Anytime he's come up against decent opposition, I've not been convinced by Chelsea at all in this season.
Yeah.
So I think that was the other one. Yeah, a few other results. Leicester and
Tottenham
Tottenham draw
drop
Southampton.
points.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Crystal Palace, Tottenham. Yeah.
Another away game with fans. So I mean, there seems to be a pattern. Another Big Six team.
I.
So
Although I've heard that even London has moved back to tier 3, so probably
Yeah.
Oh.
there'll be no
Exactly. So
fans.
there's no more fans
Oh.
anymore.
No more fans
But they have
in any
started.
Couldn't they
London
do it
club.
They have
before the
started
Fulham
the
game?
vaccination, right? In UK maybe. So
Yeah.
something of a
Yeah.
Yeah, so but yeah, as of at least temporarily, I think no London clubs would have fans.
I see.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Leicester and
That was
Southampton
a nice
picking
game.
up very notable wins.
Man, Vardy doesn't
Yeah,
doesn't
Southampton
is
stop.
fourth
Man.
right
Vardy
now.
doesn't stop.
Really good.
It's an amazing player.
Yep. So yeah, I think the match season continues.
Sorry, and the
Yes.
goal from Madison
Good
was
for us,
pretty
definitely to
amazing.
talk
Like
about.
the Leicester goal, yeah, the left
Oh,
footer
yeah, yeah.
that he
Yeah.
put in,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
pretty amazing. Sorry, yeah,
He
that I
seems
think
to
was
really
the
good.
his
that
mojo
was the
back.
goal of the week. I feel
I
if we are
heard-
doing that anytime.
I heard Vardy had like only 20 touches or something, and he had like an
Yeah,
assist, and a
first
goal
goal,
or
assist,
something,
second
right?
goal, he scored.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just Vardy for you. He just comes alive. He's not going to have a lot of touches. He's not always going to be doing a lot of things, but he's such a threat. All right, I think that should do us. So we'll probably be back next week, I think, with 2 game weeks worth of action because we have a midweek round of games as well. So stay tuned for that. That should be a slightly longer show. Hopefully we'll have loads to talk about. And yeah, I think more excitement. and a Liverpool win for me. For Dover. uh, so yeah, thank you for
Got
joining
points.
us. See you next week.
Yeah.
Ta-da.